Okay, this is Kyle Schwarber. This is the second video of the day. These are all for Fish first baseman pitcher Anthony Telleri, but useful for anybody. We talked about his anticipation in the last video and pitch location. And just to recap quickly, a lot of times batters that dive into the ball or are very aggressive with their hips early will be pitched away, and they're pitched away for many reasons. They're all bad reasons. They should be pitched in hard because these guys are diving into the ball with early hip action. They're prepared to go out there and hit the ball. So what a really good pitching coach or catcher will do is call for pitches that are inside and hard, because what's difficult to do for a batter that's getting his hips open early and trying to cover the whole plate in a gap-to-gap scenario is pinch on that inside fastball. So I want to highlight that if you're able to do that, then you're just a nasty hitter to pitch to, and pitchers are going to have to be very careful with their pitches. So, again, the first video, he got an outside fastball that he drove over the wall, which is typical of batters that get their hips open early, or as we put it, and also get their foot up in time, which is opposed to when you tell our players, get your foot down on time, because if you don't pick up your foot, it's hard to get it down. So let me let this run a little bit, and we'll talk about the hips getting open nice and early. Here he is with his anticipation right there. His front foot's up a little bit. Now in this video, you don't have a clear view of his feet as he did in the prior one, but you can tell that his foot's off the ground. The front foot of Schwarber's off the ground. As he comes through, you'll see some good anticipation here, and then there is touchdown, and then we're going to have heel slam right here. So there's touchdown. Okay, let me kind of highlight where we are going here. All right, there's touchdown, and then there's heel slam. Okay, the heel slam means we would like to swing. Okay, and there he is getting his hips in early. But as opposed to the outside pitch, again, he's still got good posture over the ball. He could tell, as he was tracking the baseball, that this ball was going to be a little bit more in. Now, this ball is not where the catcher would probably like it. He wants it a little bit more in. It leaks over just a bit. I wouldn't say that's, let me clear this up so I get a better view. I wouldn't say that's down the middle, but that is definitely not as inside as the pitcher would have liked, and he's going to pay for that mistake here. So one of the things I want to highlight is why this is such a good move by Schwarber, and a difficult move for young hitters to perfect. A batter that gets his hips in motion early, right there, okay? He's going to have to pinch this shoulder here, okay? Let me get a different color going on there. He's going to have to pinch this shoulder here, okay? I'm sorry, I went right to his elbow. Again, I'm the world's worst cursor manipulator here, so let me get, maybe that's it. There you go. That shoulder is going to have to pinch for him to rotate and turn to get to that pitch on the inside part of the plate. And he does it, and I suspect that had this pitch been in a little bit more, it would be much more difficult for Schwarber to hit. But again, let's not forget what we're after here. I never post things to get you to mimic or try to copy what you see. I want you to understand why it is that we teach what we teach, and how it applies to yourself when you swing, and what pitchers are trying to do to get you out. So this shoulder that I just highlighted before is going to pinch and allows him to clear and get to that ball, which again leaked over the play a little bit there. But that's him adjusting to that pitch that's more inside as opposed to outside. Okay, yeah, that pitch is almost almost leaking to the center by the time he gets to it. Clearly, this catcher wanted this ball in more. There's his target in the inside corner. Look where the target ends up. So that move on the ball, as opposed to what we saw before, okay, is what we're talking about when we talk about the pinch, and why that's such a difficult thing to master for younger batters that are using their hips properly on two planes. Now, that isn't so difficult for somebody that's just hitting straight up and down and staying balanced. That's not as difficult, but those players aren't ever going to drive the baseball, and probably won't get very far after their whip heel careers are over either. But almost every batter in the major league makes dynamic moves with the ball on two planes like that. And I'll highlight this once again. There's one, there's two. They make dynamic moves with the ball, creating as much angular velocity as they possibly can. Angular velocity times the radius gives us bat speed. Okay, and all these guys have exit velos close to, if not 100 miles an hour when they hit the ball. Okay. And that's an example of that dynamic move, that pinching of the front shoulder that we always talk about. And for you batters, you need to master that. It's very difficult. Our core drills are set up for you to get there. The advanced drills are really designed for you to really challenge you to be more consistent with it. And for you pitchers looking at this, if you can hit your spots inside, it's going to be much more difficult to hit a batter that hits there it's going to be much more difficult for the batter that hits on two planes to hit you. And very, very few, I would suspect, are able to make a move to that ball if they're hitting on two planes properly. So, as opposed to pitching these guys away, I would really try to jam them inside, unless they can demonstrate that pinch that we always talk about, because that's a very challenging move for whippeal hitters, and the ones that master it are really good, and you're probably going to pitch around them anyway. But the ones that do not, they just can't catch up to that. So that's it. That's for you, Big Anth, up in Riverview. One of the best 12U players ever. Had a good season last year at 13U. Looking for a lot out of you this year at 14U. And next to Donaldson, this is the guy that gets his hips in motions early as you in motion early as you do, and hits on two planes as well as you do as well. And good back knee drive from Schwarber here too. I mean, look at that good just back knee drive. There's that fall over the plate. Nothing balanced about that. Good stuff. That's it.